Welcome to the Asian Health and Service Center in Southeast Portland. I'm Elizabeth Din. In Vietnamese, Xin chào các bạn. Today, we're celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We'll explore local history, arts, food, and culture. We begin right here with AHSC founder Dr. Eric Zito and CEO Holden Leung.
Welcome to the Asian Health and Service Center.
Hi, my name is Holden Leung. I'm the executive officer. I started as a mental health clinician when I joined this agency in 1992.
My name is Eric Zito. I am the founder and board chair. I first came back to Portland 1980. I started a family practice at Southeast Portland, and I realized there was no culturally and language specific social service and mental health services for Asians, and especially for vulnerable elderly and women at risk. So I started a social concern committee, and we decided that we should establish a health and social service center emphasizing on mental health. We had a very humble beginning. We only had 600 square feet at the basement of a church and only enough money to hire one person.
By 1999, the center had outgrown the church and made the move to 35th and Powell.
On 2016, dream about having our own space. We complete the building. I think it's amazing.
With the support of Prosper Portland and hundreds of local donors, this brand new 30,000 square foot headquarters was built in the Lentz Town Center.
It was a dream of ours for many years, and we are happy to have this facility. Because of this facility, we can help more people.
We'll explore more of the building and the services offered here throughout the show. 50 years ago, April 30th, 1975, marked the fall of Saigon, signaling the end of the Vietnam War. Millions resettled here in the U.S. after fleeing Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. The family of a local artist is marking the anniversary with special exhibits for you to explore. I want to know. I'll introduce the people in the traditional Vietnamese way with their last, middle, and then first names.
Here we have a singer who is a voice of the people. And we have the woman who carries the burden of generation to come.
Intricate details reveal a story.
It's one of my favorite paintings.
Leung Trọng Đức Allen describes the meaning in this painting that his late brother-in-law created. His niece, Lê Tường Vân, also the youngest child of the late painter Lê Quang Vinh, provides more personal insight. Why is this one your favorite?
It's like I said, I had told these stories. I remember translating this one a lot when I was little. This one is called Tự Tình Khúc, and the translation is roughly like this: the song of lamentation, or a song of regret. And the story about this is there is a gentleman, a musician on the left, singing to a woman on the right.
One of countless stories Vân remembers her father telling her. 22 different paintings, am I correct?
That's right.
Vân and her uncle, through the Vietnamese Cultural Arts Alliance, are launching a 3-part series of exhibits and installations.
The more you look at them, you realize how beautiful they are because they show the complexity of this life.
Vibrant images he started making in 1975, not long after the fall of Saigon and the end of the Vietnam War led him to start a new life in Portland, Oregon.
This is my dad in his very, very first studio. So this was in an attic of the house of the family that sponsored him here.
Portland.
In Portland, yeah. This is in Northeast Portland. Everything he owns is on this bookshelf here, and behind him are already 4 paintings.
Painting continued to be his passion until his death in 2014 at the age of 73. Yet it was mainly family and friends who knew about this talent.
To me, he was an artist and then had to go to work sometimes.
Work as a custodian at a large company. But painting was so crucial to him, Allen will never forget how Vinh described it as oxygen.
Because a day without painting or drawing or sketching, he could not breathe.
Vinh Rao, or Bearded Vinh, as he was known in Portland's Vietnamese community, never intended to sell his art. Although on 2 occasions he caved in to a family friend, but only to have money for his wedding. just the quality of these are absolutely incredible.
As an artist, it's from his heart. This is how he felt about people.
Now, people of all walks of life will get to know Le Quang Vinh and how he expressed himself through paint.
The last thing he left with me is that, remember, you are American and you get the opportunity because you are here. And that I hope that with all this, these projects and sharing his work is that people can feel a little bit more connected, to feel like, you know, this artist who came from across the world over here 50 years ago had things to say that people now still feel like they want to hear, and that we're always going to be together.
Back here at the Asian Health and Service Center, the staff reached their members by offering culturally specific activities and food.
Mental health is a taboo in the Asian culture, filled with ignorance, judgment, and isolation. So with our innovative, integrated approach, they might come playing ping pong, learn how to paint, or go to lectures. Then they started to trust us. And we have about 4 bilingual part-time psychiatrists, 11 counselors, and we have helped about 300 members last year.
Physical health, behavioral health, public health, and social needs all one place. So that makes this building very unique.
The integrated, innovative approach has shattered the wall of stigma surrounding mental health. We replace ignorance with empathy, judgment with understanding, and isolation with our communities that we can offer.
Every year, thousands of cherry blossoms spring into life at the Japanese Memorial Plaza in Portland's Waterfront Park. Ken Body has the story of Henry Sakamoto, the man responsible for bringing those trees to the Rose City.
Yeah, it was a gift by the Japanese businessman in recognition of the great treatment that the Japanese business people received while working here.
Now 98 years old, Henry Shig Sakamoto was the connection, leading the Japanese grain importers to donate the cherry trees to the Rose City. They were planted in time for the dedication of the Japanese-American Historical Plaza on the north end of Waterfront Park in 1990. Henry Sakamoto was president of the Oregon Nikkei Endowment, which raised the $500,000 needed to make landscape architect Robert Marassi's vision a reality. The plaza's inscriptions, haiku poems, and the Bill of Rights also remind us of a dark time in American history. Portland once had a vibrant Japanese business community, but after Japan attacked Pearl Harbor in 1941, Japanese Americans, including Henry Sakamoto and his family, were rounded up and detained at what's now the Portland Expo Center. The Sakamotos were then sent to the Minidoka concentration camp in Idaho, held there for 2 years. Born in Portland, Henry Sakamoto was an American citizen attending Lincoln High School.
I was too young at 15 years old. And I didn't realize the seriousness of erasing our citizenship, our American citizenship, and forcing us into internment or jail, so to speak. We were behind barbed wire fences and under security guard of the United States Army.
Once the internment ended, Henry Sakamoto joined the U.S. Army, earned a degree from the University of Oregon, and worked for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
In a way, it was, I don't know exactly how to put it, but forgiving the United States government for the incarceration. I could appreciate being a citizen of the United States.
With the Agriculture Department, Sakamoto nurtured economic relationships between Portland and Japan.
The Japanese businesses, corporations, so to speak, they sent representatives to Portland to work as part of the economy. And they did a tremendous job.
Henry Sakamoto was the catalyst, a living legend in Portland's Japanese-American community.
He's been one of our greatest leaders of our generation at this time, you know. It was started out as the Oregon Nikkei Endowment. He was I'd like to think he's our George Washington, you know.
In 2021, Japan awarded Henry Sakamoto one of its highest civilian honors, the Order of the Rising Sun, acknowledging the bridges he built between Portland and Japan. The cherry trees, a reminder that once bitter enemies can become friends.
A peace accord, so to speak. That's the way it was taken, and that's the way it's been received.
And a legacy to one of the most influential men in Portland history.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the unique lunch program here at the Asian Health and Service Center and some of the lively activities that fill the center with energy. Plus, senior meteorologist Kelly Bayern taps into her Chinese heritage with a lesson in lion dancing.
Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month is presented by Prosper Portland.
Welcome back to this special program celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. We are inside the Asian Health and Service Center in Southeast Portland. This building acts as a community center, offering fun activities, public health information, classes, counseling, and so much more, all with the goal of improving mental health. One of the ways they get people into the door is through their unique lunch program.
Usually, if you go to a regular conjugated meal, people will serve you when you enter with coffee or milk. For Asians, that is not their preference. They prefer tea. They prefer soy milk. And for Korean, they prefer kimchi. So we serve depends on the day. So food is not cooked here. We partnered with local Asian restaurants. So that become a win-win situation. Restaurants really want to support us, and then we also support them.
I see people come for lunch. Many of them are elderly, of course, and they don't come because of the meal. They come because they wanted to be connected. They come because they have friends, and that's totally mental health. And I'm so proud of our lunch program also.
A new and locally based business has a concept that connects you to farm-fresh food with the ease of online shopping. I went to a farm in Newburgh to see how this type of partnership is growing.
So what I do is I break it open, make sure my root will be going down, touch the solution.
Ely Jen is planting seedlings in her greenhouse.
So they're going to sit in the channel for another 3 to 4 weeks before they harvest.
Here at the Great Harvest Farm, she's growing hydroponic butter lettuce and nearby rows of romaine lettuce.
What made you fall in love with becoming a farmer and a hydroponic farmer at that?
Because I am a chemist. I'm here every day, adjust my pH value to make sure they are in their optimum place.
Like striking the right balance to grow these crops, Ely and her husband, Jimmy Jen, are a great match as a couple and business co-owners. The two met at Oregon State decades ago while she studied chemistry, and he'd go on to earn 2 engineering degrees. That's why he oversees things like the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning in the greenhouse. But there is something the duo could use help with.
We have the land. We know how to grow. We know how to operate. We know how to maintain a facility. But the one of the major weakness is the marketing. We don't know how to connect to the market. We don't know how to sell this produce, this premium produce, to the customers nearby.
That's where Trang Ho and the business she co-founded called Masa Fresh come in.
So each farmer actually can sign up, have an account, have a dashboard where they can upload their products, set their prices, choose their own, pickup or delivery routes.
It's another way of connecting farmers to more customers with the click of a mouse.
So Masa Fresh is a membership-based online farmers market. So for $24 a year, you can shop directly from local farmers and producers. What's different about us is that we're not a store, so we don't buy products from vendors and then resell them. It's a marketplace platform.
Trang's goal is to elevate local farmers, and starting Masa Fresh in this particular region was no accident.
I actually chose to move here to Portland, Oregon for the business because, I just know that there's so many local farms, and I also know that the community is so supportive of, this movement.
The name Masa Fresh honors a late Japanese farmer and philosopher, Masanobu Fukuoka. Here at the Asian Health and Service Center, culturally specific activities have a regenerative effect on their members, keeping them moving and engaged with their community.
Wow. Wow. They may have exercise in the morning, and now after lunch, this group is prepared to sing Cantonese opera. So, when you walk into this room, you can see the gray hair, but they behave like a kindergartner. So they laugh, they joke, and then they play, and then when you see them play table tennis, you can feel the spirits. This is why we work so hard to make this possible.
Another lively and fun activity, lion dancing. Senior meteorologist Kelly Bayern got a lesson in this energetic sport.
They're bold, they're big, and they're impossible to look away from. You've probably seen lion dancers at a Lunar New Year celebration in town, but there's more to lion dancing than meets the eye. I got a behind-the-scenes look at one local group that's breathing new life into an ancient tradition that's fusing heritage, heart, and high-level competition. Nan Don is the leader and a co-founder of the White Lotus Lion Dancers here in Portland. They've been performing since 2015.
The goal has always tried to make lion dancing more popular at various celebrations around the year, throughout the year. And so Portland, being it very diverse, very inclusive, we've been at many, many performances. So multicultural events, the Rose Festival Parade, the Governor's Ball.
So what is the tradition behind these lions?
So lion dancing is meant to scare away evil spirits. It's meant to bring good luck, and it's commonly seen at a lot of auspicious celebrations. So Lunar New Year, grand openings, weddings. It is rooted and was started in Chinese culture, but then later Vietnamese culture also adapted it and made it a part of the Vietnamese culture as well. So a lot of celebrations love to have red fur, gold fur. Red and gold are just very symbolic and good luck colors in our culture. But over the years, we found a lot of popularity in just having a diverse color. So pink, orange, anything that's very vibrant and black, so that it's, it's friendly and it resonates well with the celebration that we're at.
And it definitely resonated with me. As someone who's half Chinese, I wanted to honor that part of my heritage at my wedding last year. And these lions, and all their color and energy, were the perfect way to do that. This group actually performed at a reception, and it was an unforgettable moment. After learning that these lion costumes are made from bamboo and paper mache that keep them very light and durable, it was finally time for me to get suited up.
This is one of our foundations of lion dancing. So as this is like it's called the horse dance, so it provides balance, stability, and it really brings out the liveliness of what a lion looks like.
So you guys are all pretty fit, because this is definitely gonna be a burn, I'm sure, as you're performing.
Tail players, they have to be bent over the entire duration of the time. As a tail, you always want to be flat, and you kind of want to create the body of the lion, so their head is never going to be pointed up, because otherwise it'll create a hump, and then that'll just end up looking like a camel. And so we don't want to have the camel's hump. So one of the common tricks that we do is called head sit, and so that is just exactly what it means. The head player jumps up, and then the tail player puts them on their head.
As you can see, there's lots of strength and athleticism in lion dancing. These students have mastered combos that include head sits and knee stacks. But the biggest skill of all is making these lions come to life.
Okay, I see that. Okay, all right. I think I got this. Oh, it is really light in here. Can you see me?
The crew showed me how to open and close the lion's mouth.
Then if you see the string in there, if you pull on that, that's what makes the eyes blink.
Yeah, there really is like so much that you have to like think about.
Oh, you're a natural.
Oh, okay, so yeah, you're like bending over. You gotta work the mouth, gotta lift it up, and like look. And then you have to pull the string too with the
Pull
eye.
the string to get the eyes, and then your footwork. So like you have to do some crossovers.
Oh, my goodness.
I was blown away at how tired my shoulders were, and at the amount of multitasking while moving.
Hey, you got it. You got the horse dance.
Yeah, that's years of volleyball.
Did that look silly or did it look like a lion?
Now take all of those dance movements and add in a vertical element to the challenge with a partner. Their facility has practice posts called jongs for lion duos to learn an aerial routine. And in competitions and larger performances, jongs are usually 8 feet high. But in here, they practice on 4-foot posts.
It's all mental, and just part of my job is to encourage it and just to kind of push them. Definitely when we have a full practice, we have all of our spotters here. We have more mats out.
Gosh, that is really scary. Ow. That's scary. I think you'd definitely get used to it with more practice though.
I will stick to ground combos for now, but I paired up with Daniel and entered full lion mode.
Okay, ready to be a lion.
There you go, perfect. She got the horse dance, she's blinking the eyes, moving the ears, the mouth, natural. This is perfect. You got Daniel playing tail, nice and low, no camel's hump. Kelly, we are recruiting, so if you are interested.
This is working?
It's working.
You need to fill in one time, I'll do it.
So there I am, a lion dancer, and getting a look at all the effort it takes to bring these lions to life. Once a lion dancer himself, Nan has always been at the heart of the group. He's not only perfecting these routines, but mentoring the younger generation.
Just a good sense of family. I treat this organization as like they're all not my students or my members, but more like my younger siblings. And so for me and my leaders, like we're mentors to them. So they come, they practice, they have fun with lion dancing. We teach them principles such as respect. We coach them, we mentor them, but mainly we make it a safe space so that they can hang out with each other, make new friends, and learn about, you know, the significance of lion dancing in their culture.
From the powerful movements and heavy lifting, lion dancing is more than a show. It's a celebration of culture and community here in Portland. You can learn more about the White Lotus Lion Dancers and even book them for an upcoming celebration at KOIN.com. It's one of the most popular cherries in the whole world, and it was created right here in Oregon. Coming up, we'll explore the history of the Bing cherry.
Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month is presented by Prosper Portland.
Welcome back. We are celebrating Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month at the Asian Health and Service Center in Southeast Portland. Dr. Eric Zito founded the organization more than 40 years ago. During that time, Zito has served many roles, from CEO to janitor and everything in between, even mural painter.
Our mission is to create a harmonious society that everybody can join as one and not separated into many different groups. So for our next generations, I'd like to paint a bridge going through from this area all the way there to show that we want everybody able to just walk across this bridge and join this circle of harmony. And then in the end, we will have a harmonious society. That's the meaning of this bridge. And so I painted a boat with a person, and that person wears a hat, which we cannot tell the sex and the race. So that creates the meaning that we welcome everybody into our circle.
The most popular type of cherry grown in the United States is the Bing cherry. Its origins, rooted in Milwaukee, Oregon. The city celebrates the famous fruit and the man it's named after.
Dropping a 7-foot lighted cherry is how Milwaukee likes to make that Bing in the new year. That's because the world-famous Bing cherry was created here. It stems from a man named Ah Bing who worked at an orchard in the late 1800s.
He came from China. He was from Manchurian descent. And he was a tall man, apparently, like 6 foot tall. And really the cherry, I understand, was developed maybe about a block from here.
Hamid Shabana Bennett is with the Milwaukee Arts Committee, which organizes that annual Bing in the New Year party. The most recent celebration included dancing and drumming from the Oregon Chinese Coalition, a nod to Ah Bing and other Chinese immigrants who contributed to the city's history.
All of our different cultures combined together to create something unique in our community, and that should be celebrated.
And this community really celebrates Ah Bing and his namesake cherry every day through symbols like this giant steel cherry sculpture.
This is the cherry by Tyler Fuqua. I'm told it's going to be lit. This is the first sculpture owned by the city of Milwaukee.
And here's one way Milwaukee honors its history. That's a mural of Ah Bing and his Bing cherries.
While it's unclear when exactly Ah Bing returned to China, it's not hard to see how he has had a huge impact on Milwaukee and the agricultural industry all these years later.
Ah Bing, thank you. Thank you for your creativity in bringing these two cherry types together to create something unique that has been revered and loved by really the whole world. And it was started right here in Milwaukee, and we celebrate your life.
The team here at the Asian Health and Service Center is planning for the future to continue evolving and serving the community.
From our humble beginning, driven only by a dream, the center has blossomed into this vibrant organization with about 23,000 members now, dedicated to providing mental health, social service, counseling, cancer support, and resource center, and the overall well-being of our underserved communities. I see that we can grow and evolve in the future, and I see that we need to understand that dreams can become a reality, and I see that with all our efforts, positive change is attainable for all, not only to our communities, but to the communities at large.
From all of us here, we want to thank you, or in Vietnamese, Cảm ơn, for joining us as we celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. You can learn much more about the Asian Health and Service Center and all of the other businesses and organizations featured in our program by going to KOIN.com.